Now, before we jump in, let me quickly explain what Sol Strategies does for those who are new to the space. Solana is a high-speed blockchain that processes thousands of transactions per second at low cost. Now, to keep this network secure and running, it needs something called validators. These are specialized computers that verify transactions and earn rewards for their work. Sol Strategies operates these validators, and they manage over 1.5 million Solana tokens. That's worth about 440 million. So instead of just investing in crypto, they're earning steady income by helping run the infrastructure that powers the Solana ecosystem. Now, let's dive into our conversation with their Chief Technology Officer to see how they're building out this operation. Max, thank you for being here. Can you explain in your own words what validators actually do and why owning them could be way more attractive than just holding Solana tokens?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. So a validator really simply is what secures the network. So, when a user submits a transaction, a validator is actually what puts that into a block. And as a reward for that work, they get the transaction fees that come, they get the transaction fees that the user submits. So validators are consistently making revenue. And because of that, for a company like ours, where we are, really trying to attract as much SOL as possible, it's really attractive for us because we're able to accrue SOL at a faster rate than just by holding tokens.
Well, you're concentrated in one blockchain. Mm-hmm. How do you manage the risks of being, solely kind of focused on Solana?
Yeah, great question. I'm really going to go back to the data points that I said, but really we're looking at this in terms of what blockchain is going to win, and we don't think it's going to, I don't necessarily think it'll be a zero-sum game, but I think it'll be mostly a winner takes most, right? And when we look at all these different metrics, Solana is really just crushing it on all of them. And, we really want to take a big bet here. And, Solana, that's why we really went all in on Solana. We went through a material name change around September to rename the company from Cypherpunk Holdings to Sol Strategies to let the market know that, we were really focused on Solana. It's really, we're really all in on Solana. We think it's a big bet, but a very calculated one. And, we're excited for it.
Well, institutional adoption, from, again, my view, it is growing. Along with that, how do you see the validator space evolving? And are you concerned about, competition from larger players that may enter the space?
So the answer is this, is first of all, like I want to talk more broadly, is that, I think crypto is very nascent overall, right? And, we want to see that pie grow bigger. And, the more companies that are getting involved for Solana, the better, right? So, I don't think competition is like our biggest worry right now. However, we want to grow the pie. I do want to say that. However, but from a competition point of view, right now we have 3.6 million SOL delegated to our validators, which puts us around the 19th biggest validator on the entire network, bigger than some of the biggest centralized exchanges out there. And, I really think that is due to us offering a great service due to a variety of different things, high APY, brand, we're the only validator operator that has a native mobile app, a bunch of different websites that we make, things like that. So I don't think we're really nervous about competition. I think really what we're focused on is building the best possible product. We want to see the pie grow, and we're going to keep focusing on, building the best product that there is.
Well, Sol completed the acquisition of Orangefin Ventures last year, or rather earlier this year. Other than bringing you on, because you founded Orangefin Ventures and essentially transitioned into your CTO role now at Sol, can you kind of break down for us what kind of benefit or upside that's brought to your shareholders?
Yeah, absolutely. It really comes down to acquiring SOL faster, right? And, so Orangefin, that was the company that I started. The main advantage of Orangefin was really, it ran software modifications to make the APY higher, which attracted, a bunch of A bunch of stakers, right? And as a result, because of that, it had one of the highest APYs. It had a lot of stake, and really in terms of validators, really the more stake that you have, the more SOL that the validators are going to make. And for us, when Sol Strategies came to me to acquire the company, I was really excited about, Orangefin being a part of Sol Strategies, but really, it's allowed us to acquire Sol at a faster rate, along with the other two that we acquired as well, which was Cogent and Lane. So we're offering 4 different validators now. We have four validators offering different commission structures. Orangefin is really like our highest yielding by APY that there is. And, excited to see it continue to grow.
So will this aggressive growth continue into this year?
Absolutely. You're going to see us enter into some new verticals, as well as continue to invest in building the best possible staking product that there is. We also just launched a partnership with BitGo, which is one of the biggest custodians out there. We have we have 2 other public companies using us now as their exclusive staking provider. So, we're going to continue to focus on growing out the staking side of the business. And just really entering in different verticals, and just really trying to be the best Solana infrastructure provider that there is.
Well, thanks for being here and helping us understand the story a little better. I think to close us off, it's going to touch on something you already mentioned, but let's repeat it. So you've got about $440 million worth of Solana under management with Sol Strategies. Mm-hmm. In terms of where this places you in context to the market so far, where are you at, and what's kind of like the vision in terms of how much you want to grow in the next maybe 3-6 months by the end of the year?
Yeah, absolutely. I could talk about, what I can talk about, right? But right now, in terms of, I mentioned this, that in terms of assets under delegation, right? Which is really how much stake that other people are staking with us. That's about 3.5 million. So we have 430,000 SOL in our treasury, excuse me. And we really consider those 2 different distinct businesses. We want to continue to grow those out, both of them. The staking side is growing at a rate we're happy about. And the treasury side, listen, we are, I can't talk much there, but we definitely are bullish on Sol, and we hope to get more.
Well, we'll leave it there. Maybe when we can talk about it later on, we'll have you back on the show.
Cool. Thank you so much. Right. Appreciate it.
Max Kaplan of Sol Strategies. Their ticker symbol is pretty memorable. Hold on for dear life, HODL on the CSE. Thanks for watching.